Hello and welcome to part 8 of my video tutorial on how to make a browser game. I believe this is where we left off because the previous episode was filmed 30 minutes ago. Uh, so it looks like this. We have a guard tower, we have a couple of guard towers, town hall, things like that. We're going to clean up our code a bit to start with. Let's start by making a file in the back end which we're going to call, let's just call it town functions. And we should probably call everything town instead of world. But I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Uh, so world, let's just start by. Actually, we can have this as well. Let's get all of this. We can actually get all of this, right? Well, let's get this. Let's move that over here. And let's just turn all of this into functions. Just to make it a bit cleaner, let's make a function called get resources. And we can end that right here. Like so. So let's just make this an option as well. Or yeah, let's go with this. So this is our get resources, and we'll get this one as kind of a drawer world. We'll create another one called function draw town. Draw town. So right now we're kind of missing, or not missing, but yeah, we are missing this database value here. But I would think that's fine. Let's actually. I wonder if we should just separate them. Yeah, let's just separate them because I don't think we necessarily want to draw the town every single frame, but we might want the resources. Even if we are looking at something else, we probably want to see our resources. Maybe. So let's just get all of the resources. Like so. So we just do all of the resource things. And then we can just take these and put them into our drawTown function, where we'll basically get the, what do we call it? We'll call it world. Select everything from world, where ID is the ID. And let's see, that's our buildings. So our buildings will be, yeah. So that will be our buildings, right? And now we are also going to do another query, which is we are going to select everything from, did we call it buildings? Yeah, we did. From buildings, where, well, we don't need anything. That's fine. Wonder what this is. Alright, let's follow these instructions. Our editor is helping us by method length is 26 lines. 20 allowed. Really? The function name? Whatever. No, that's fine. Let's just copy this. Because we can just use the same variables. I mean, we can do like this. Get our town layout buildings. Get all available buildings. So what I did find out and I saved it in a notepad, is that you can use fetch all. You can add PDO fetch group. With this, it will. Well, let me show you what it does. Let's just finish writing this, and we will be good to go. All buildings. There we go. All right. So here everything can pretty much look the same, except this part we will not be needing it. So instead of having one SQL query here every time we hit something, or we have a building, we can just say that let's just echo out the name for now. Let's just say all buildings, and then we'll use the and this will look a bit weird, but like so. And let's just echo out the name. I think that's correct. Let's try it if it works, and then let's see if we are correct or not. So let's start in this world file. We can include the, because we are going to need that file. Let's include the backend town functions. We should probably define a root here. Yeah, let's define a root. So what a root is, pretty much we will define a root so it's all the way up here. And then instead of having to write multiples like this to go up folders, we can just start from the root. So let's define the root in the index file, because the index file we run every single time. So and I'm just gonna straight copy it. So we define, and then this first, which is the variable, to this, which I am not 100% sure what it means, but it will put us in a root. And from now on, we can just use this variable instead. So instead of getting the system file like that, like backing, we can just type in the root and then a dot and then continue from the root. So with these, it doesn't really matter because they are just like one step up. But once you get like down into the structure, it can be quite annoying. So with this, the root should work. And we can go to our world and we can just include the root. And let's see, we called it backend town functions.php. Right? So let's see if that works. If we go to page equals world, we don't get an error, so that's good. Let's quickly change this to town. I like town better. So now we can just run the functions. Let's see, get the resources. That's what we called it. Let's try that. And oh right, we don't need to go to town. There we go. And the next one, what did we call it? We called it maybe get town. Nope. Draw town? Yeah, draw town. Guess we might as well call this one get town. Get town. Because I mean we're drawing the resources as well. So, and there we go. Awesome. Oh right. So what we did here with the let's see, what this does is to group up by the primary ID or primary field, I think. So for example, let's do a var dump with the all buildings. Yep, perfect. And we do that. So as you can see, this is the all the buildings that we get. So this is the first one, and this is the second one. If we were to change the ID, let's move it over here. We go to buildings, and we change the ID. So town hall is now has the ID of 3, and we update this. You can see that this one becomes 3. So we can always very easily match that. And you can see that we got an error now because we have two town halls, which in our world, which we should call town, we have written in 1 and 1. And 1 doesn't exist anymore because we changed it to 3. So back to 1 and it works. Perfect. So we can remove this var dump. And then let's do something like draw the map. Let's put out a few comments. So this looks good. So let's see, what should we do? Maybe we should let's try to build something. So let's start by making let's just make our grid boxes beautiful. So we will set the background to maybe yellow. So this is when you hover over it, so when your mouse cursor is there, so you can see like that. It looks pretty. Yay! I'm easily amused. So next thing, let's get jQuery to start with. Whoops. Let's just go to Google and jQuery, and let's see, download jQuery. Oops, download jQuery. I guess we want the compressed version is fine. And then we just go to our design and just create a new folder. We can call it JS for JavaScript and just paste that in there. All right. So now that we have this, we will include it in our templates, in our head file. So it's just by typing in script, then source, and the place where we put the file, which is design, JS, and jQuery 321.min. And we end this script tag like that. So now we will have jQuery loaded in once we refresh our page like that. So jQuery is going to help us a bit with making the site a bit more dynamic, because what you can do is to like just update certain elements. Like for example, if we were to, let's say we wanted to build something here, so instead of updating the entire site, going through all the code again, what we can do is to just update this part. So that's what we'll be using jQuery for. And also I like the syntax better than normal JavaScript. So just as a, let's go to the town functions. And after we draw the map or the grid, let's write some JavaScript code or jQuery code. So the syntax will look a bit strange in the beginning. It's a bit weird. So we'll do it like that, and something's gonna happen when we click on it. Oh, the code is not helping me here. I really thought the the editor would help me. Apparently it doesn't. So let's just do like this just to see if it works. So what we are saying here is that whenever you click on a class, which on the grid box class, and all of our spots has the grid box class, whenever you click, do something, and this is what you're going to do. We're just going to say, a message is going to come up that said you clicked me. So let's see if that works. Let's refresh the page, and it doesn't. Oh. Because every time we write JavaScript, it needs to be within the script tags, and I guess that's why the editor didn't help us, because I'm an idiot. Alright, so we go back, we reload it, and we click something, and you clicked me. You clicked me. You clicked me. If we click somewhere else, nothing. So this is good, but it doesn't really help us. So what we're going to start with doing is to give each grid box an ID. So we're also going to give them an ID here, and the ID is going to be the number, something so that we can uniquely identify them. So let's see, did we have that somewhere? Yeah, our buildings. Or actually, it's just a I. That's all it is. Let's just put those semicolons around it. Or citation marks, whatever they're called. Okay, so now we gave them an ID as well. Let's just quickly see if that works. Just by updating and inspecting one of them. Yeah, so you can see we have the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it only goes to 8. Oh yeah, we start with 0. So that's good. So what we can do is we can just go here and we can say make a new variable called ID, where we say that the we can write this dot attribute ID. So it means that the thing you clicked on, get the attribute. Which attribute? The ID. So here we can just say you clicked on, and we can add the ID. And this should hopefully work. Let's see. Bloop. You clicked on the 6. Clicked on 3, 2, 0, 8. Perfect. Except for this little space. Alright, so now that we got that, that's pretty good. So now that means we know which box we clicked on. So if we're going to build something, we will send this ID. We will send the information of which building we want to build, as well as the ID, so we know where to build it. And then our PHP code will look and see if you have enough money and things like that. Alright, so next we want to pretty much show we want to show some options when we click. So let's start by making actually making a box which is hidden. So we just create a div, and we can give it an ID called maybe building options, something like that. And then we create a class for it, or did I call that? I think it's an ID. Let's go with that. And we say display none, so it's going to be hidden. So just for, yeah, I think that's enough for now. And we can, okay. So apparently the editor does some weird things when you press enter. So in here, I think we can, oh, we are still in the for each, right? Let's see. Let's see what to do. Let's just start with this to see if it works. Let's give this one a height of 100 pixels, a width of 100 pixels, and let's give it a color, background color of black. So now if we run this, we will of course not get anything because we haven't done anything. Let's remove this alert because I don't think we need that. So now when we click on this, we're going to start by adding the event in here. That's so we can, with that we can check where the mouse is when we clicked. So if we just say, let's see, building options, like that, and we just change some CSS values. So one of them is going to be the location, which is going to be from this is going to have an absolute location. So from the left, we are going to insert it this many pixels, and this is where our mouse is, and the X value of our mouse. So it's like that. And I think we can just copy this again, and we are gonna from the top we are going to say the page Y. Actually, I believe it's a small piece. So page X, page Y, And one more time. And we're going to make the, hang on, we don't need that. Let's also change here. Let's set the position to absolute. If we don't have absolute, the other, it's pretty much going to like push other elements away. And lastly, we will set the display to, let's set it to inline. So the last one is going to show it. Before then, we're just going to move the box. So let's try to run this. Click, 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 click. So this is good. We have a box that we can move around. If we click somewhere else, it doesn't work. So we will fill this with options. Maybe we shouldn't have it spawn here. Maybe we should like put it a bit up or something. Maybe. It's good enough. For now, it's good enough. All right. Back to the code. So in here, maybe we should print out all the options. It's probably a good idea. So we're going to do that, so we can put some code inside here, because we want to echo out. Let's make a new kind of box. Let's just make a for each loop. So we will say like this, all buildings, and I plus plus. So we'll make a for each loop where we will run this as many times as there are elements in our all buildings array. So we will do this once for each building. Right now we have 2. So let's just make a box for it. We can call this maybe let's put it in the class, maybe building box. I think that's fine. Let's also give it an ID. And the ID can be, or should be, the all buildings ID. Just like that. I think we actually need the 0 here as well. Yep. Did I screw something up? Wait. Okay, that's not it. Oh, I'm missing a dot. Sorry about that. And we need the 0. So just like that, we will print out the ID. And the class will be in building box. And maybe in here we can just print out the name. So name. Just like that. And let's make the building box. Oops. Let's just make it 33%. And it will float. And I think that's it. Let's give it a background, a white background. It should be default, but still. Alright, so with that, I think we are good to go, maybe? Let's try to run it, see what happens. That's not very good. Alright, undefined offset 0. Maybe we didn't need that 0. Let's remove that 0 for now. Nope. It's a different kind of 0, so I guess it's this one. Hang on, let's think here. Oh yeah, our ID starts with 1, so let's do that. 1, also plus 1. Because I'm pretty sure we need a 0 there. So because our IDs start at 1, let's see. No, that's not it. Okay, so now we got something. We got the town hall. That's good. Oh, right, we don't actually have the ID. The ID is this. This key. But we don't actually need the ID, do we? Hang on. Couldn't we just... I'm pretty confused right now. Uh, at least we got the name. So for now, let's just skip the ID. Let's just skip the ID because that's gonna work. There we go. Town hall, guard hall. Um, let's remove the width, and it should automatically. Oops. Let's see, how can we get this to take more space? Oh, I see. Let's just reload that. Okay. So we have two building boxes inside of this one. So why isn't this expanding? Oh, I see. It's taking the text, but not the... let's remove this background. It should look better. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm not sure why that is happening. But anyways. Ah, yeah, okay. So we need to have a... Let's set up a reveal width, maybe 300 pixels. Let's see what happens. Okay, that seems better. Like right here, you would probably want pictures. But for now, we're just gonna go with this. This is fine. But let's make the boxes a bit higher, just so we can click them more easily. And let's see, do we want... Yeah, that's fine. Let's get a border as well. I like borders. Cool. Let's get a little bit of margin, like 2 pixels. And let's also... We can lower this to 30. Let's also set the line height. Line height 50 pixels. That should look better. Well, kind of. Let's also text line center. All right, that looks better. Doesn't look very good, but it looks good enough. All right. Woo! That's fun. So what we're gonna do now is to let's make something happen when we click one of these. So let's go back and let's see, where are we? Okay, so we are here. We can actually set this even higher. We can just make another script, or we don't need to make another one. We can just have them in the same place, where we can say on the, let's see, building box. Yeah, that's what to call them. On the building box, if we click on them, something's gonna happen. Alert. You wanna buy. Or something like that. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not good. Let's see. It gave an error here on line 39. Really? 39? That's not true. Oh, right. It's line 39 on the town, but it's quite difficult to see what is what. But it is this one. Okay, I have misspelled function. There we go. So we click the guard tower. You want to buy. Click somewhere else. Nothing happens. Click in the middle, nothing happens. Click town hall you want to buy. Cool. Should probably have a way to hide this as well. Maybe we should do that. We can look if the yeah, we can do that. Let's go back here and let's just do. We can just check if. Actually, don't need this ID right now. We can check if the building options, if building options dot CSS. I think we can write it this way. Equals inline, or maybe equals hidden. Then we want to do this. That should be it, right? So if we click once, that's going to happen. If we don't, let's just get an else and let's just hide it. Let's see if this works. Hidden. Alright, and we go back and we update. Click, nothing happens. Oh right, we don't call it hidden, we call it display none, don't we? Let's see, where is it? Yeah, display none, that's it. Alright, so display none. And we click, there we go. We click again and it's gone. Now you probably don't want this, you probably want it only if you click on the same box. Not like that. But still, that's pretty good. Alright, so we have that. And we can actually, instead of doing this, you can have it kind of animated. jQuery has built in like toggle. So if we just have toggle and we try to run this, same as before. And you can also do a slide toggle, which will look slightly cooler. Oh, need to update. That's quite ugly, because we are doing the toggle after we are setting the location. For now, let's just leave it at toggle. We'll fix that later. Let's try to do something meaningful if we click the boxes instead of you want to buy. Alright, so we need to get an ID in here. Let's see, how do we get this ID? We can probably, instead of... Why are we doing this? Why don't we just... Yeah, I think we don't need this for loop. Instead, we can just do a for each loop with the all buildings as building. So this will have a very similar effect. It's just instead of writing this, we can just do like that. Let's see if that works. Yep, it does. And that also means that we should be able to... Can we get the ID from this somehow? Let's do a var dump of building. Oh, come on. This doesn't really look very good. Okay, so they are both, as far as I can see, we cannot. Let's see, how do we get this ID? It's because we are doing this fetch group thing. We are like basing them on the, or we're sorting them on the ID. Let's try to do a var dump on the building options as well, or the all buildings. Sorry. Let's just put it outside of that one. That way it will run immediately. Alright, so we got the ID here. What we need to write here is we need to also get the key. So this is saying we get the key and we get the like contents. So with this, we can only use the key here, and we can just say that our ID is going to be key, like that. So that should work. And let's remove this var dump. And let's try to echo that out. Wanna buy ID. That sounds weird. So we can just say this dot attribute ID. Oops, var ID equals like that. So we want to buy ID. The question mark should probably be after that. So let's try to run this. Click somewhere. Click the town hall. Want to buy ID 1, ID 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So good. Now we know. So now we know which one we are pressing. The thing we don't know right now is which of these are we pressing. So let's do that. So this might not be the best way to do it, but right now I can't come up with a better one. Let's create a let's just create a span here, and give it an ID of build location. Just like that. And then whenever we click on a box, what we can do is to just write in the ID in here of the box we clicked on. So it doesn't feel like a good solution, but it feels like it's going to work, so it'll be fine. So the first thing we do when we click something is to just go to the build location, and I think it's text. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. So let's see if that works. I think that's going to work. So let's try to inspect this. Build location, it has a 0. Let's try something else. It has a 2, 5, 4, 7, 8. So that works. Cool. So that means with this, we actually have everything we need to be able to build something. All right. We should probably have some kind of like cost and something also here, but we actually don't have any cost in our table, I think. Let's see, buildings. Yeah, we don't have any cost. Let's put in some costs. Cost gold, cost stone, cost iron, cost, what's left? Wood. Let's just put up some prices on these. Maybe 100 and everything, that's fine. And 30, that's fine. So with that, we are probably good to go. Maybe we should show them that information. Let's start by making these boxes a bit bigger. Let's make this one 500 by 200. Let's make the building box bigger as well. Because now that it's bigger, we can put in some more information. Okay, so it's this one, I think. Yeah, it's this one. Let's see, should we just, I guess we can just enter it here. Wow, this is really long for each element. Doesn't really matter, but it's gonna look a bit weird. So let's just go with the let's call it a wood, and we can have the cost wood. Let's just say W, and we can just copy all of this, just like that. And then we have stone, cost stone, And we have iron, cost iron, lastly cost gold. Oh, the I was supposed to be there, and there is the G. This is going to look terrible. Okay, apparently it didn't work. I'm missing something. Let's just go back. Oh yeah, we're missing a dot over there. And one over there, and one over there, and one over there. And we are not properly closing something, so they're all... Oh, god damn it, we didn't write on this one, we wrote on the actual... Let's see, can we use this? Oh, let's just remove it. Alright, sorry about that. I wasn't paying properly attention. So I just removed everything so it looks like the way it did before. Let's try to update that. Yeah, it looks the same. We are printing out a 0 somewhere. Why are we doing that? We're printing out a 3 here. Oh, right, it's the JavaScript down there. Wait, why is this printing out a 3? Oh, is this one? Oh, this one is visible, the box location. The build location. Let's make that hidden. Display none. Alright, so now we have no extras. Alright, perfect. So now then, let's put it in here instead. Just make a BR. And just put in some more information, like, let's see, what did we start with? Wood. This is kind of tedious, and I apologize. I just want it to be good. Stone, iron, and lastly gold. So cost wood, cost stone, cost iron, and cost gold. Let's update and run. Yeah, this looks terrible. Why in the world is it like that? It's still inside this div, right? Yeah, it is. Oh, it's because of the line height. So line height means each line should be 100 pixels high, and that's obviously not going to work when we have that many. All right, so this works, I guess. I mean, you probably want to make it a bit nicer. Like, let's enter a BR over here. We could probably split this up into a table. Would be nicer. It would be way nicer. But for now, let's just go with this. It's fine. It is fine. Let's see what that looks like. What? Okay. Oh, hang on. I closed the code there for some reason. That's not going to work very well. So this like footer became part of this element. Okay, this is fine. We can see what this is. And that's the most important part for now. You want to buy ID 1, you want to buy ID 2. And we are still on the correct like building location, I think. Yeah, we're on number 5 when we click this one. All right. That's awesome. I don't think we need anything else. I think this is it. So I think now we can actually write a we can actually buy something. Yay. All right, let's start by going to the town functions. Oh, we are in town functions, right? Let's just create a new function then. Can create a new function and we'll call it by property, by building. create building. And this one will have take a couple of arguments here. And the first one will be, we will need a location. The second one will be building number or building ID. And I think that's it. Do we need anything else? No, we don't need anything else. Because everything else, I mean, the ID of the user trying to buy it, we can just take from the session variable. So we don't need that. We are going to need to use the database connection, so we will just include that. Or include, we will just use the global one. Alright, so we will just start by checking. We will make a SQL query where we will ask how much that building ID will cost. So select everything from buildings where ID equals question mark. Because this will be a function where you the client, will send in the building ID. We will use prepared statements because we don't want you to type in drop table users over here. So we'll run this query with the db. First we'll prepare the statement, and then we will execute the statement. Execute with an array of which values should substitute the question marks. And one that's going to do that is the building ID. And we can say if stmt, let's see, return rows, what is that? Num rows? Wait, I'm not sure. Let's just check in one of our previous files. Row count, that's it. Row count. Row count. So if the row count is greater than 0, that means we found something. If we didn't find anything, then we can just echo to the user that the building you're trying to build doesn't exist. So like that. So this means we have one. So let's just take out the costs. Hang on, I'm just trying to think here what we should do. So we have found the building. So next we should get everything from the user to see his resources and also to see his current building locations. So let's just, I'm lazy, so let's just go and copy this. And here we can actually write the one we had a long time ago. We just had it for a short while, but since here we are going to need both the resources and the buildings, we can do a inner joiner of the buildings on the buildings.id equals resources.id, where the resources ID is. Oh, here we can actually use just the normal ID, because here we are going to say ID is the session variable logged in. So the logged in user, that's who's going to get this. So let's see, this should be fine. So we get all of them in this results. And now we should just, first of all, see if if you have enough money. So we'll do that. Let's just create a, we can just say it's a currency array. And we will get the result. Let's see, what did we call them? Did we just call them wood? Yeah. So wood, stone, iron, gold. So wood, stone, iron, and lastly gold. All right, so previously oh, I see. Let's just make sure we actually keep this information here. Um, so we can say building building result is fetch all if the building exists. The row with building information. So that's good to have. And next, so we have our current currency. And now we pretty much have to prepare not prepare, the compare with how much the building costs. So we can just, I think we can just say that, let's just make a for each loop about this, or with this. So we can say for each currency array as, let's start with the key, or we can call that currency, and then say amount. So here our currency will be wood, and our amount will be, I think it's 1, 2, 3 right now. Our currency will be stone, our amount will be 100, I don't know, something like that. So now we can just compare this with the building results. So for each of these, we will start to look at the currency. So we can just say if the this is the cost in that specific currency. So the first time we run this, this will be the wood. Oh, hang on, it actually isn't called that, is it? It's called cost wood. And it's actually with big capital letters as well. You know what? Let's that's fine. That's fine. So I think you can do. I think you can use multiple things like this. I think that's fine. We could call it cost wood. I think that's okay. So if that is higher than our amount of it, then we fail, right? Could not afford. And we can just break the loop if we get this. So what we can say is let's make sure that this is correct, or that this will work. I'm just gonna do the lazy thing here and just change them over here, because I think this is gonna be fine for Windows, but not fine for Linux. Because I've had that problem a lot when I'm because I'm writing everything on Windows and I'm transferring it to a Linux server from my browser game. And I've had lots of database issues. So let's just go with that. So this should work, I think. So we are saying if we don't have enough money, then we are just going to set this flag. Could not afford that variable to 1. So we can set it as 0 to start with. And then later on we can pretty much say that if could not afford equals 1, then continue. Otherwise, echo you cannot afford this building. So just like that. Let's just tidy it up a bit. Could not afford, oh, it should be the opposite, shouldn't it? Alright, that should be fine. Let's see if this works. Let's just try to see if this actually works. We can just run this, or we can just print this, echo and then my currency. Sorry if this is confusing. I'm quite confused myself here. And the amount. All right. So echo costs, and let's end this with a br as usual. So now we should print out this variable here and the hour amount every time. Let's see, how can we run this? Create building, and we need a location and building ID. So just go to our town here. We can remove this for now, and just say what was it called? Create building, and the location doesn't matter. We can just put a 1, and the building, let's put a 1 because I know there is a building with 1 as ID. And let's update, and we got a bunch of errors. That's the way it goes. Okay, so error on line 120. Let's see, 120 is here. Currency array. All right, let's do a quick var dump here. Let's do a var dump on the result. Oh, it's empty. It is empty. Look at that. So we are doing something wrong here. Select from resources. Inner join buildings on buildings ID, resources ID. Just make sure they're spelled correctly. They seem to be. Let's just make sure we actually have a. Yeah, this seems fine. So let's try to run this directly in our SQL. No, we're not getting anything. Okay. 13 is the one I have, right? Yeah, it is. Select everything from resources. So let's remove this and see if that works. Okay, that works. So it's the inner join, that's the problem. Inner join buildings on buildings.id. Oh, I see. We are including the wrong thing. It's the world. Inner join world on world.id equals resources .id. And if we run that, there we go. There we go. Perfect. All right. So let's switch this one to world. World. All right, I think that's good to go. Oh wait, no, it isn't. We commented out this line where we actually do things. Okay, with that, I think we can go. Nope, that's not good. Undefined index cost 0 on 126. So this is when we do this. So our currency, it became a 0. Oh, of course it will become a 0 because we never wrote it in here. Hang on, let's do that. Oh, with this we actually didn't need to change the. So here we can just type in a key like this. So the first one will be wood, second one will be stone. And so you know what, here we could have just written in like cost stone, cost wood, and costs iron. So let's do that. It will look a bit neater, so let's just do that, and we can remove the cost from this. And we can remove it there as well, right? Yeah. So with this, I think it's gonna work. Yeah. All right. So hang on. Let's just comment out the or remove the echo SQL. Let's remove this one. like that. So if we update cost, it costs 100. My cost wood is 123. So we have 123. It's going to cost 100. We have 100. It's going to cost 100. So with this one, we can afford this one. So let's try to just decrease our. If we decrease our resources, so like this, if we go under the limit, if we have 50 stone, we should get the error. Yeah, you cannot afford this building. And you can see that it stopped execution at the second one because we put in the break. Because why go through the rest of the things if you cannot afford it? I mean, you may want to do that, and you can type in stuff like you have 50 out of 100 stone. That may be good, but we're not going to do that. They need to read themselves. All right, good. So now we have this kind of working. We have the checking working. So let's assume that we could afford it. You can afford it. Woo! All right. So what are we going to do now? That means we can afford it. So what we need to do is to take the buildings string. You know, like this is what we got returned from this query that we do. So we need to take this one. We need to chop it up. We need to look at the position to I guess this depends if you want to look at the building spot and see if it's a 0 to see that it's nothing being built there. Or if you just want to say, okay, you built something, but you can just build something over it, that's fine. Let's do that check that it needs to be a 0. We still need to like split it up. So, okay, so you can afford it. So let's take that string and we can just call it our town array, and it's explode. We are gonna explode on the comma, and the string we are going to explode is the let's see, where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be the result 0, and then buildings. So like that. Let's do a var dump just to see what it looks like. Or actually, we know what it looks like. It's going to look like this, but it's going to be 1 0 2 2 0 1 0 2 1 0. So we know what that looks like. So now we can finally use this location for something. So we can just say if our town array and the location is a 0, then actually, let's say if it's not a 0, and then we can just use an else statement. If it's a 0, no, hang on, I got it right the first time. This means the spot is empty and you can build. And then else echo some another building is already in that location. So it's like that. Perfect. So the spot is empty. That means we can just switch places with these. So that means we can just say that our town array and the location is equal to, what was it called? The building ID. Like that. Pew! And with that, we can just glue our, I think it's implode. Yeah, it's implode. So implode does the exact opposite. So we put it together so it becomes a string again. And this string we can now put into our, I'm just going to call it the exact same thing. Because that's fine. This is all we're going to need. And then we can put that into our users building spot. So what we can do is SQL, we can say insert into. No, not insert into. You can say update. And what we want to update is the what they would call it. Town? World? Oh, we never switched this name, did we? I meant to switch this to town. Ah, it's too far gone. Update world. Set, let's see, buildings. And we're going to set buildings to the string called our town array, where the ID is, and it's just going to be our ID. And we have that since earlier. So we can say db query SQL, like so. And we also need to remove the gold and resources from our character. So same thing, we're going to say update characters, or do we update resources, set, what are they called? Wood. Oh yeah, we need to do this first, hang on. We should probably do this over here, or maybe in here. Maybe we can do this right in the ender. Yeah. Calculate money, currency. So we can take this previous array and no, why don't we do it? We can just do it in here, can't we? Yeah, let's do it in here. So if we can afford, so this will run for each currency, right? So if we can afford wood, then we can just say new wood equals, and just do this. Well, not really, but we can just take our current amount minus the currency. Ah, yeah, we shouldn't call it new wood, should we? Hang on, I'm thinking. New currency. Let's make it an array. Let's say we have an array called new currency. Just like that. And we will just say that for the new currency, we will add one. So this means add an element. And we will add an element which contains. Do we add an array like this? I think we do. And this one is going to be called, let's see, where's the currency? There we go. Currency. Okay, I think this is correct. We'll see. We'll see. Let's do a var dump on that. Let's not do any queries. Let's try to run it. So we have an array. We have an array with cost wood. Ah, yeah, because we can't afford with the stone right now. Let's switch that again. Let's give ourselves some stone, 1 to 3. And we can see that we now have an array, which isn't really pretty. Oh, another building is in that location. Which location did we choose? I think 1 or something. Oh, 1. Alright. So, yeah, this is not good. I wanted this one to... let's see, is there any better way we can do that? I think maybe we can... Can we just go like that, maybe? I don't think you can do that. Let's try it. Oh, you could do that. Cool. Alright, so this is what we wanted. Now we have one array with cost wood, cost stone, cost iron, cost gold. And you can see that they are 100 less than what we had. Awesome. Alright, so we have this new currency. And we don't need to calculate any currency right now. So let's see, we can update resources. We can set the value wood equals question mark. Yeah, let's go with that. And what else? What else? What else? Stone? No? Yeah. And gold. Where ID equals ID. We are really mixing the... I guess we can just write them here. As far as I know, you cannot use... I don't think you can use arrays inside SQL query. But maybe that's just... Maybe you can. Let's see what it says to start with. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Let's just go like that and just echo out the SQL and see if we get the correct one. Oh, we have another building. Yeah, right. Let's put a 0. I don't think we have anything in the first spot. Set wood 23. Okay, it actually worked. Nice. All right. So that actually worked. So that means we can just put in this one cost stone. So right now the names doesn't really make any sense, but I mean that's fine. Cost gold. Perfect. Because I personally don't see any point in like having additional SQL injection protection here, because we already, these are values that we took directly from the database, and also we have like gone through them with this. If they weren't an integer, they would fail over here, and so I think it's fine. And we can just do a DB query. So let's see if this works. So right now we're doing it manually, but so let's do that, and let's do so we can see the town. The town looks like this. There's nothing here. We are trying to place a another town hall here. I think you can only have one town hall usually, but so let's see if this works. We will remove that. We'll create a building at the 0 index, which is the top left corner, and it will be the building index of 1. Let's try to run that. F5. Alright, so it might have worked. Who knows? Let's see what our town looks like. Kablamo! There's the town hall. Whoops. Did I mess something up here? Oh yeah, I did. So now apparently Windows here is case sensitive as well. So now I get this because we switched the name to all lower caps. So let's quickly change that. I mean, we could just... I don't think I have this in any other place. Yeah, I don't have it in any other place. We just got one match. Iron, gold. Awesome. All right, let's make that function work. So we're going to use jQuery for this. Let's go to town functions, and we are down here. All right. So what we want to do is when we click on this, we want to use the function called what's the function called? Yeah, we use this function, and we want to then use a jQuery function to not have to update every single the entire page. So instead of this alert, what we can have here is to do a post request, and we are going to do this to the let's see what this is going to be like. It should be like B page. I think we call it that. So we need to make a request to get this page, the town functions. Yeah, we called it B page. Oh. We should probably do this one the same way we do here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's quickly change this one. So we're gonna say that the page is gonna be the B page. Oh, remove that one. Oh, hang on. So I changed my mind because here you necessarily don't want anyone to be able to write in any kind of page and get your backend functions. You may want to restrict that a bit. So let's just do this the same way we have over here. Let's call it town functions, and we're just going to include that the town functions.php like that. So even though it's we are writing in the page that we want to get to this page. So to the backend B page and town functions like that, and then within these brackets we can send post variables. So we can send the variables. Which ones did we want? We wanted location and building ID. So we can say location and then something and building ID, build ID. Okay, say look ID. So let's see. I think I think this was the building ID. Yeah, it was. And the location ID, we set that in this one. So we can just get the text from this. So we can say var location ID equals this. Oh, text. So I think that's going to work. So that means we'll send the location and the build ID. And now inside this file, because nothing will run if we just send it like this, here we need to say if the post variable, what do we call it? Building ID, build ID. Let's just take a location. Location. So if the is set, if the post variable location is set, then we can what do we call it? Build building, create building. Create building with the post location and the post building ID. Yeah. So that means we should run this one once we send this. So the post also has a it has a built-in callback function. So you can write done, and it will tell us when it's done sending the data, and when it's received something that it's okay. Then we can do something, because we still need to, after this, we still need to like update the page, because that hasn't really been done. Because the page is going to look exactly the same. So let's see, what do we need to update? If we just go to this page, if we click here and we click one of these, and then we want to like reload this part. Let's see if we want to reload I think the box holder part, maybe. Wait, do we write that out here? Get town. What do we What do we echo out? The building options. Yeah, the box holder. Okay. It's probably not good. Yeah, let's go to the town, and let's just put this inside a div, because we need to update a div or any kind of element. So if we just put it inside this one, we can just call it like town area. Then we can say we want to update town area with get town, and then that part will reload. Everything inside town area will be gone, and we put in some new data. So we just write it like this: town area dot load, and then which page we want to load, and we want to load this one. So the same as the other one. But we also want to add the get variable, what do we call it? Update town. Get town. So I think this is going to work. I'm not 100% sure. And let's just set it over here. I think we did call it get town, right? Yep. Oh, function date. That's autocomplete. Not sure what would happen if we use that. All right, let's see what happens. We're probably gonna get a ton of error here. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, I know exactly what we missed. One thing we missed, or I just know it for one thing, is this one. We need to add the non-UI, because otherwise we will get the entire UI again, and that's not very good. Let's try to rerun this. Let's build a town hall, and we have a failure with include. Let's see, backend own functions. Pager line 26. Oh, it's this one? Let's see, pager. If they get b page equals town functions, then we're going to include this. Oh, town functions. Maybe we need to add the index for some reason. No. So for some reason it seems to be skipping the T. Why is it doing that? That is very strange. That is very, very strange. So I'm just going to try to put a space and see what happens. If it will get the same error. Okay, we will get an error that doesn't work because that's not a valid URL. Alright, so now I don't know what happened. Alright, so this is strange. So I'm assuming it didn't work here as well. This is very weird. Let me just type something else like stown functions. Yeah, that works. So for now, because, well, for now, let's just type in stown functions. And let's see if that will get us the same result. Okay, that does get us the same result, okay. So something is weird. Something is very strange. So maybe it's this that it's failing on. Let's just remove two of those. Oh, I see. It might actually be this that it's failing on. But even so, even here, it makes the same kind of error that like cuts this off. It's very strange. I'm just gonna, for now, just to see if it works. Let's just call it sound functions. It doesn't make any sense at all that this should work, and it probably won't. But I'm just saying, I've run out of ideas. Uh, yeah, that actually works. What the hell? All right, I'm gonna have to look at this a bit more, but I will do that within the next episode. So as you can see, we are getting nothing. What happens is we are probably getting an error message in the when we are sending the post variables. But because we then just reload the page, we don't get to see those messages. So let's just try to. No, that's not going to work anyways. You know what? Just to see if it works, let's increase our. Let's do it like that because we should be able to afford this. Town hall, guard tower. All right, so it does actually work. We probably should reload this as well, because if we buy something like that, this doesn't update until we manually update it. So we should probably reload that as well. And we can do that as well, but well, eh. So for now, that works. This works very well, doesn't it? Except for this part. That I wonder if we can like maybe an easy way to do this would just be to use session variables. I like session variables because we could just in here, instead of writing these out, we could just say like session error message or like town error message, something like that, equals. So we could just have something like that, and then when you try to get our town, we can say if is set the town error message session variable, then we can just echo that out, and we can also unset it, so we can delete it because we shouldn't keep that one. So let's try to run this. Town hall, you cannot afford this building. And we also, if we can afford it, we cannot. Actually, let's do that. Let's give ourselves some more iron. So another building is already in that location. Darn it. All right. I think this wraps it up pretty good. So there are a few things that's very strange. The stown functions. But for now, I'm just going to leave that there. It's been quite a long episode, but we got a lot of stuff done. It's not that pretty, but it's fairly functional. You probably want to center this text, make it a different color, things like that. Anyways, this is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and take care. Goodbye.